Harper Audio presents Dirty Daddy, the Chronicles of a Family Man Turned Filthy Comedian by Bob Saget. This is the author. For my brilliant and understanding daughters. Introduction. We are what we are. As a kid, I often heard from my mom, as well as from the teachers in every school I attended, that I needed to behave myself and watch how I spoke. Apparently, I was a mischievous little bastard. By the time I started out in stand-up at 17, I was careful about my language. This helped me get on television shows and go on the road opening for musicians like Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons and Kenny Loggins. But one day in my early 20s, I snapped. I didn't want to disappoint my mom, but I couldn't take the censorship of it all. Some of the comedians who fascinated me the most, Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, and Richard Pryor, had also felt oppressed by the things you could and couldn't say in public. On Conan O'Brien's show, he once asked me how I was able to keep it together through my 8 years on Full House and not say the wrong things in front of all the child actors. I explained that I would occasionally lose it while we were shooting and arbitrarily yell out things like cock, shit, fuck. It was a planned bleep. A setup so Conan could ask me on the air something he's always asked me on his show. What is the matter with you? We were being funny with that exchange, but there's a deeper truth behind it. It's why people go into a life of comedy in the first place. When you're told not to do something, unfortunately for some of us, is exactly when you do it. No means no, but not to a comedian. In my career, I've had the fortune of being able to work continually in radically diverse creative worlds. By day, I've done some of the most family-friendly TV imaginable. Then often in the same day, I've gone on stage in the LA comedy clubs and whirled off with an adolescent's delight about my grandma's projectile diarrhea. That in itself could, by many psychiatrist standards, be a bit of a call for help. I never do it to shock anyone, even though people have sometimes thought of me as a shock comic. If it is a through line or constant to what I do, it's not something I'm proud of, but I'm not ashamed of it either. It's more of a handicap, or depending on your perspective, a gift. It's what I used to think of as my mania. Now I've come to embrace it. You have to love yourself, but not in a movie theater because they will tabloid your ass. Mostly I've just always done what I found funny, strange as it may seem. Immature taboo humor, good immature taboo humor, always made me laugh. I love all kinds of humor, but my love of sick silliness started with my dad, who you'll hear a lot more about, and his constant dick jokes. He was a grown-up who said things a 9-year-old like me always wanted to say, because I was told not to. Joking has always been a means for me to avoid pain. I've lost a lot of people, and throughout my childhood, almost every 2 years, someone in my family died at an unnaturally young age. The more tragedy befell us, the more odd gallows humor I would release. My humor, especially once I started doing it professionally, was always dark and twisted. Like your penis if you accidentally slammed it in the door of a car. This book is about how that humor helped me survive. It's been inside me for a long time. It has congealed. I am writing what comes out of me. Well, not exactly, or this would be a book about leakage. The goal of living a full life is so, at its end, you'll have learned some things along the journey. I'm nowhere near the end yet, but I've already had some incredible experiences. I've met and worked with some amazing people. I've lived, I've loved, I've cried, and through it all, I did it my way. In this book, I'll talk about many of the people I've known in my life and in the worlds of comedy and entertainment. Some of them are still around. Many are not. I've had some dark times, but the thing about dark times is there has to be light at the end of the tunnel. And one great thing about being a man is you can go to bed depressed and feeling negative, but when you wake up in the morning, through no effort of your own, you've got a nice display of morning wood to let you know it's the start of a new day. You could be waking up next to the love of your life, or the girl your buddy told you not to talk to the night before because she was a drunken evil vortex. Or you could be totally alone in bed and not sure if you want to get up yet, but he's up, like a sundial catching the first ray of morning light, casting its shadow on your stomach. Or if you have a tiny penis, casting its shadow directly next to itself, hardly a shadow.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?